Yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy EtzMegaa back with another Undisputed video. Alright, so guys, with this video you're going to see some of the most cleanest boxing in Undisputed, and to do that I used George Davey. So George Davey has a rating of about 72 in Undisputed, but the thing with George Davey is, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, his animations are some of the most cleanest animations in this game for any fighter. You guys will see that he's got one of the most snappiest jabs in the game. He's a really underrated fighter, seriously, he's a very underrated fighter. I don't see a lot of people using him. He's definitely one of my go-to fighters and one of my favourite fighters to use in this game. Do make sure to hit that like button, guys. Make sure to hit the like button. If you're watching the video, just do me a quick favour, hit that like button, and do make sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already. Comment down below, let me know any other Undisputed videos you guys want to see, and turn that notification bell on. And yeah, let's get straight to the fight. Alright, so round one begins. Straight off, I'm trying to see what my opponent's about, see what shots my opponent throws. Look, he threw a body hook, left his entire head open for that jab. That jab counters him 3 times back to back. He just completely fell off rhythm. He threw the same punch again and again. It became predictable. I was like, I'm going to carry on doing this till he literally stops throwing that punch, because that was a mistake kind of he was making. And obviously if your opponent makes a mistake in this game, you've got to capitalize off that mistake. So I threw a nice little body hook there, got another combination in with the counter shot. The thing with George Davey is, like I said before, he's got a very snappy jab, and I use the jab a lot in this game. And the straight right is quite good as well with him, as you guys saw on the screen. So the thing is, you can kind of mix up a lot of nice combinations and things like that. The jab leads off. I always start my combinations off most of the time with a jab, and then I follow through with different punches. Seriously, if George Davey had a higher rating, I don't think I would be using any other fighter in this game as much as I would be using George Davey's fighter, because look at these animations, guys. For example, the jab is clean, the straight right is clean, the body hooks are very nice as well. The uppercut works really well in this fight. You guys are going to see that during the later rounds of this match. The funny thing is, I can see those counter shot openings. I can see so many of them. Like, there was 2 counter shots just there. I could see the entire opening. The body was left wide open and he missed a shot. The head was left wide open and he missed a shot as well. So the thing is with that, you're not seeing me run at all with George Davey. I'm in the pocket in the center of the ring. I'm just circling, finding angles and landing my punches. You guys see me on the back foot a bit in this fight during certain moments, but a lot of the time I'm just in the pocket as well, trying to get that range, that right distance control. Step in for certain shots, step back out for certain shots. Obviously he is using Terence Crawford. He's probably one of the best fighters in this weight class, so I've still got to be careful. But yeah, round 1's coming to an end. Now let's get straight to round 2. Alright, so round 2 begins. Same thing, back in the center of the ring. I'm just going to be circling around, seeing what my opponent throws. Sometimes he does end up throwing a bit recklessly as well, like that overhand animation that keeps going, and you can find a nice counter shot with that. The thing is, I'm trying to mix up my punches. I'm trying to go from the body to the head, back to throwing punches from the head to the body again. Trying to confuse my opponent a little bit to where I'm going to throw the punch. And then when I get that counter shot, look at that nice uppercut goes in and lands as a second counter shot. It's all about timing, seriously. Surprisingly, my punches are actually landing quite well in this fight. Usually I see a hit detection problem a lot in this game, but this fight I didn't really see it as much. I did see it here and there on the odd occasion, but not as much for sure. I'm just trying to mix up those punches. Another nice counter shot goes in. His shots are kind of predictable. He's not throwing anything like that's going to kind of confuse me or put me on the back foot completely at the moment. I mean, it is only the second round in the fight, so he might change it up during the later rounds in this match. But I'm just trying to pick off different shots. Missed that counter shot and he landed one. That was quite nice. I'm just still in the center of the ring. Nice little combination there. I need to keep an eye on my body health with George Davey, especially because if the body gets hit a lot with him, the stamina drops and he does take a lot of damage. And the thing is, his block health actually breaks quite quickly, so it's important to try not to get stunned as much when you're playing a match with him. Nice power shot by him. He's actually getting into a bit of a rhythm now. He's starting to land a few more punches in this round. But I'm going to keep my composure. I'm going to start landing my shots, continue landing my shots, to be honest. Nice uppercut goes in again. Straight right counter shot. That taunt was by accident, by the way. I was meant to feint a punch, but ended up doing the taunt. And then he done one right back as well. Oh, that would have been the nicest counter shot. I don't know how that punch didn't really land. Might have to have a look at that again. But yeah, on to round 3 now. Alright, so round 3 begins. Pretty much the same thing as the first 2 rounds. I'm going to keep my boxing style kind of the same for a lot of this fight. just pick off nice counter shots inside the pocket, kind of make my opponent miss. Just basically catching my opponent's punches and throwing punches of my own. That's the best way to kind of work during this fight, I feel like. Another nice counter shot goes in. I want to see more people using George Davey just to see how they fight. I don't see a lot of people online using George Davey as much. I definitely want to see some more videos with people using George Davey to see how they box with him, how they fight with him. What's their game plan, what's their kind of style of fighting with him. Because mine's basically being an outboxer, and then I do put pressure on my opponent as well when I can see that there is a chance for a knockdown or something. You can see he's got a cut right there, Crawford. So I kind of know I'm winning this fight so far. I mean, it's only the third round, but I'm going to try to keep the clean boxing going. Try and make him miss as many punches as I can and land my own. Oh, that would have been a really nice hook. That's a big counter hook. That could have stunned him as well because he's got a cut on the same place. But yeah, you guys can see the block health is really important in this game, especially since after the update. I feel like the moment your block health breaks, right, block health's finished, your fighter completely drops his guard and then he gets hit with a bunch of punches. And there's nothing you can do about it apart from back up. But once you're caught in the pocket, it's kind of game over. You're going to get knocked down. So it's important to keep the block health high. Same thing kind of now, just circling. Trying to make my opponent miss punches. I'm trying to get my punch accuracy quite high as well. I'm not trying to miss as many punches, so I can kind of win these rounds as well. But yeah, that cut is getting bad on Crawford. Nice little combination. That's one of my favourite combinations. The jab, the straight right and the left hook to the body. Nice double jab, counter. This round's come to an end now, on to round 4. Alright, so round 4 begins. You guys can see I'm up on the predicted scorecards, 30-27. Nice little jab just to start off the fight. I noticed that my opponent keeps throwing that straight jab to the body. As soon as the round begins, that's the first punch he throws. You guys might notice that in this fight as well. Tried landing that left hook, make it a counter shot because he missed that body jab. The moment your opponent misses, you just have to make them kind of pay for that miss. That's the way this game kind of works. That's where the counters come from, the counter punches come from. I'm just trying to fight a bit more in the pocket as well. Usually when I see anyone online on the odd occasion using George Davey or anyone just using a lower rated fighter, most of the time all they do is just run. That's all they do. They make you chase them the entire fight, and all they probably throw is jabs the entire fight. Like 300 to 400 jabs the entire fight, and all they do is just completely run. I've seen people do that before. It's just the worst way of playing in my opinion. There's no fun in playing like that. They just pick off easy shots and there's nothing you can really do, because even if you try cut off the ring, obviously if the connection bar is not great, I mean hit detection issues as well, there's nothing you can really do. Because I've seen it before in fights myself. I played fights like that, played against people like that, and it's really just it's frustrating. There's no fun in it. There's no fun in a match like that. So I'm just trying to keep pressure on my opponent. I'm not trying to stay on the outside too much. Of course, when my fight is hurt, I have to back up. I have to take my time, readjust, get that head health back, body health back. But I stunned my opponent and there we go. Got that knockdown. Yeah, he got up from that knockdown. It was only the first one. It's pretty easy. I'm just keeping the boxing as clean and as realistic as I can, kind of. But yeah, round 4 comes to an end. Now on to round 5. Alright, so round 5 begins. You guys are going to see that straight body jab again. There you go. He done it once more. He starts getting into a bit of a combination after that, but I realised that if I just keep on the outside a little bit, keep that right range, you got to find that distance, the proper distance to kind of land these punches. The distance I'm finding here is quite good because I'm in range. I know the exact range in order to land that jab just in case my opponent misses his. Circling around the ring again. That left hook is really dangerous with George Davey as well. If you can find it on a counter shot, it does really well. Nice little double jab. You guys can see he leaves his entire body open over there. Got 2 more punches in. Step out of there and land another nice counter jab. That was a big uppercut. That could have probably knocked him down as well. But you guys can see you got to look for those open spots. You got to see what your opponent's not blocking. You got to catch a punch of theirs and shoot a punch of your own. Basically, that's the way it works. That's what I was kind of doing in this fight as well. When I can realise that my opponent's putting pressure on me, when I can see that, and I see that George Davey's health is quite low, I need to be careful and back up. I'll just try to keep my guard up, make sure I block, and try to regain that health back. Nice little right hand goes in. I thought this is the best round to kind of get 1-2 power shots in, mixing up with some good combinations as well. That cut is looking bad though. I'm surprised the cut didn't like progress during this fight. I couldn't tell much, but that was a nice body shot by him. I'm slightly on the back foot now as well, just a bit during this round. I don't want to kind of get caught with any big punches, or because it's only round 5, I don't want to get knocked down in this round. You guys can see my body health is really low. Luckily there's only 8 seconds left in this round, so I can kind of just take it easy and just box slowly. But yeah, round 5 comes to an end now, onto round 6. Alright, so round 6 begins. I could have probably kept a bit more stamina during this fight because my opponent targeted the body as well, but he didn't throw too many heavy body punches to the point where my stamina is going to completely drain. But because I was throwing a lot of combinations, my stamina isn't at the best place right now. It's not too bad, but I will be going into flat foot movement of course in this fight. You guys can also see my block health was really low there. You got to let that block health just regenerate basically. You got to drop your guard. That's the way it regenerates fast. That would have been a nice counter jab. You can see the opening literally just without it even landing. I could tell that was a counter shot opening. That one there as well. If that uppercut went in, could have been a knockdown. The funny thing is I'm actually boxing him inside the pocket as well. Like I'm using a 72 rated fighter compared to his 91 I think, or 90 rated fighter. There's a big difference in rating, but because George Davey has very clean animations like I said before, it actually becomes quite fun to use him. That was a nice body shot combination and he gets knocked down for the second time. At this point I know the fight's in my favour, basically the fight's going exactly the way I want it to go. There's only 50 seconds left in round 6 as well. I don't know what that little animation was there, that arm flinging and stuff like that. I don't know what that is, like the arm gets stuck in between the punches that both opponents are throwing. That's a weird animation, a weird glitch in this game. That body punch just didn't land. Nice little counter shot right there. Power punch to get him knocked down for the 3rd time in this fight. Alright, so he managed to get up from that knockdown as well. Round 7 begins. You guys can see dominating this fight completely. 60-51 on the predicted scorecards. At this point I just want to win every single round in this fight. I've won the first 6 rounds, 7th round, 8th round. I just want to win the rest of the fight basically completely. This round he definitely fights better though. You guys are going to see I go into flat foot movement here. Try to land a little power punch. Doesn't land at all. So I'm kind of just walking back a bit now. I kind of realised that if he hits the body a bit in this fight, then he can potentially get a knockdown. But I'm still going to get my punches in. I'm going to try to block his punches, as many as I can, without the block health basically getting completely broken. With flat foot movement, obviously, you can't fight too aggressive. The chances of getting knocked down are way higher. Especially if your opponent lands body shots and is targeting the body as well. There's a much higher chance of getting knocked out. So I'm just trying to stay on the outside a little bit. I'm trying to get a counter shot in. Just any good punch basically that will keep my opponent at a distance. And let me kind of take this round off slightly because he is getting some good punches in. I tried landing that power uppercut. I think he's also in flat foot work as well, flat foot movement. I think he is in flat foot movement as well. The way he's kind of moving, I can tell, yeah, he is in flat foot work as well, flat foot movement. So I mean, stamina wise, fighters are probably close in stamina. But that cut is really bad on him. I'm just surprised that cut didn't progress during the fight because I did land some nice left hooks to the head. But my body health once again is really low. I see that. Luckily again it's at the end of the round and I land a big right hand for another knockdown. Alright, so my opponent got up the 4th time from a knockdown. This is the final 8th round in the fight. At this point I kind of want to put a bit more pressure on my opponent. I want to try to get that knockout for this fight. Big uppercut goes in. Nice little counter shot right there. Little combination. And there we go, the fight's over. A nice diagonal dodge with a big uppercut to the head. That's literally my signature punch. People that watch my streams or watch any of my videos, you guys will see me use that a lot, especially near to the end of the fight or even sometimes during the middle of the fight. It always lands and there's a nice knockdown with it. And in this case my opponent's completely knocked out. Alright, so this fight's come to an end. You guys can see I did end up winning this fight by knockout. let's just take a look at the scorecards as well. You guys can probably guess what the scorecard's looking like, but there is one major issue with this scorecard, and you guys are going to see that literally now. Seriously, you can probably guess what it is. It happens to me in a lot of my fights, and there you go. You guys can see, spot the issue, see what's the problem, and let me know in the comment section, guys. I'm not even going to say what it is. You guys can already see that needs to get fixed as soon as possible. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Do make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, and let me know any other Undisputed videos you guys want to see in the future, and turn that notification bell on so you guys never miss a stream or an upload. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.